Hello and welcome to chapter 6. This is portraits, how to paint portraits. A lot of you have been asking me a lot of questions about how do you paint portraits, how do you go about it. And in this chapter I'm going to be explaining how to paint a woman and how to paint a man. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick voiceover. So this is the freehand, and after I'm using a stencil. But then I end up using a projector, but anyway, I'll get to that. So the first thing I always do is I do a cross. So I do a straight line, an horizontal for the eyes, and then I do a vertical line for the middle of the features, the nose, the eyes themselves, the lips, and all of that. So really what I do is, I know there's the space of an eye in between the eyes. So I start with that, and then I sort of work from that. If you've seen my video on tracing, I think it's the one before this one, you can see what I use. I use a can, so I step back and then angle the can from, say, the left corner of the left eye to the middle of the nose, and I sort of trace measurements and do that for the other side. And then I just keep double checking everything I do to make sure everything's good. Then what I'm doing is I'm redoing everything because I realize it's a bit wrong. And this is the thing, when you're doing freehand, as opposed to using a projector or a stencil, where you know all the features are exactly where they're supposed to be. In this case, you don't. You put the features where you think they are, and you adjust to get something that's perfect or decent. What I'm doing now is I'm sort of creating a texture, but I am quite careful to keep the main points between the eyes, the nose, and so on. So I know, because I was happy when I did the pink, I was happy about the proportions. So there I'm working on the whole look of it. But I make sure I don't cover everything, even though it did look like I covered everything. I wanted to do it that way, because I could have done sort of an abstract background and then done the features, but my tracing lines and everything would have messed up the piece anyway. So I just thought, trace it, then work around backwards. An easier solution would have been to use a projector after I did the abstract, or stencil. But on this one, I just wanted to go freehand. Freehand is by far the most fun and free, but it's also the most difficult, and it's the one that you end up screwing up the most. And I've done some pretty horrendous portraits in my career. But again, I'm glad I've done all of those, because it does, eventually I'm able to do something like this, where the proportions are correct, it looks like my friend, and it's pretty good. And sometimes projectors not always an option. Like a few days ago I was doing a job, and my projector packed up, and I couldn't buy one because none of the shops were storing the ones I wanted. So just had to go with plan B. And if you don't know how to do freehand, then sometimes on jobs it can be quite catastrophic. So you need to be able to have a backup plan. What I'm doing now is just following the picture on the tablet, and I'm just adding detail and detail. A very important thing as well is whenever you add detail, you want to add some detail to the left eye, the right eye, the nose, the beard, the mouth. And then you go back, and then you go on. You don't just want to finish the eye perfectly and then you move on. The mouth is not even in place, because if you mess up, which obviously when you're doing freehand you will, that's the whole point of it, by the time you've done like a perfect eye, and then you get to the mouth, whatever, you realize the eye is in the wrong place. You've spent all this time, you're not going to want to redo it. You're going to try and save it, where really when something's wrong, in most cases what I do is just get rid of the eye, whatever, or the nose, whatever I think is bad, and then just redo everything. So yeah, just work all around. Just think of a sculpture as a sculpture. You'd work on the whole piece, and then you add details everywhere at the same, little by little, and make the whole thing look good until there aren't any details left to add. Okay, so this is the finished piece. Off camera, I added a bit of white in here and over in there, and I've darkened this corner of the eye because I wasn't too sure. Funny enough, when I do a piece, I always take a picture when I'm finished, but I don't pack yet. Unless I've got my good camera, and then I'm trying to not to get any paint on the camera, but I normally do. It's always good to take a picture before you finish, because then the wrong things will jump at you. So don't just pack up, take a picture and think, oh man, I wish I da-da-da. Take a picture when you think you're done, and then you'll realize what needs to be sorted out. In this, as I said in voiceover, I kind of I didn't step back enough, but the camera's in the way, and obviously, you know, there is a bit of difference to when I would just paint normally. And whenever somebody's filming me, I always tell them not to put a tripod behind me, always left or right, or just move around with the camera, because this is the vital point. This is where I need to be. The camera is about 3 meters from the wall, and ideally I'd want about, on the piece this big, I'd want to move back about 6 or 7 meters, just so that everything jumps at me, so I can see what I'm doing. And this is why too, you saw me adjust the piece with the pink and all that stuff, because if you don't step back enough, you're just going to mess it up. Anyway, I'm really pleased with this. I really like the pattern and how it came out. Just sent it to my friend Mino, and he likes it as well, so that's pretty cool. The photo shoot was actually a lot of fun, and this piece was a lot of fun as well. Okay, so now I'm using a stencil, which failed, but I wanted to leave it in because, you know, sometimes what we do just doesn't work, and it's good also to show when it doesn't work. But basically what you do is, obviously, there's not much to a stencil. I mean, you just cut one and just trace, paint over the holes. That's basically it. And in this case, I just painted around just to keep the grey background, which I thought was cool. But then, because the plastic was just not accurate and the cut and whatever, it didn't work. So what I'm doing now is I'm using the projector to trace the main features of the face, and I know this is accurate. So yeah, if a stencil is for you, then use one, and by all means try it if it works for you. I know some of you have asked me about stencils, but it's just really a technique that I don't enjoy, and I just, because I'm not passionate enough about it, I don't really feel I'm the right person to explain how to use a stencil. There's some great artists out there, so check them out. Okay, so now that the tracing is done, the projector is off, then I can start having fun. The face looks a bit crooked because I had to put the camera at a bit of an angle, but it is straight, it is accurate. That's the great thing about using a projector. Whatever things are where they should be, as long as you don't travel too much with the lines. What I mean is, paint over the lines that should be there, but don't overwork them to the point where it just, it still ends up crooked, basically. You have to be quite disciplined to stay within the lines when you paint. And basically in this one, I'm just adding the tones. I'm starting from dark, going lighter, 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 then coming back to the detail. And as I was saying with Mino, I'm making sure I'm going around the left eye, the right eye, the nose, and the lips. Then I go back, forehead, so on. You really want to work on the whole piece at the same time. I know the eyes aren't finished, that's fine. Go and work on the lips, they're not finished either, that's fine, just keep going. And then come back, come back, come back. And you don't really see me move back a lot because the camera's in the way and the space was quite small. But really, if I was doing this in the street, and indeed if it was bigger as well, I would be moving a lot further back and forth, even if I'm using a projector. Just want to make sure the proportions are great. And this is the finished piece, which I'm quite pleased about. It looks like quite like the background, it's interesting. And yeah, this is kind of a fail because I didn't end up using a stencil, but I just thought I'd show you anyway because I'm still showing another another portrait, more techniques. But really, when it comes to painting portraits or anything, really, it's just about repetition. If you're gonna paint a lot of portraits, you're gonna be good at those. If you paint a lot of cars, you're gonna be good at those. If you use stencils mainly, you're gonna be good at those. Whatever technique you really like and whatever subject you really like, just paint a lot of those, and in no time you'll just get, you'll be where you want to be. You'll get to the point where you're not struggling and thinking about what you're painting, but you're actually thinking of the words of the music that you're listening to, or whatever client you've got tomorrow, whatever. And then this is when it gets good. This is when you're really having fun. And when I work, I'm just having fun. I'm not really thinking of what I'm doing. And yeah. So this wraps up this video, and because obviously this it's taken me more than 2 weeks to actually bring this video out, because I've just been so busy with work, I just didn't get a chance. Today I've got a bit of time, so I'm gonna straight away work on the next one, and I'm gonna try and do all the videos, and I'll bring them out pretty much as soon as they're done. So expect the next video in the next few days or something, and the one after that in the next few days, as much as I can bring them. Okay guys, thanks a lot for watching. Do let me know what you thought and what you want to learn about. I'm actually working on a lot of props videos right now, and more interesting videos, because this is cool, but it's just about murals. And by the way, since I've started filming this course, I've also decided to stop photography, so I won't be doing a course about photography after that, and I'm just going to be focusing on my murals and my props. So a lot of fun videos coming through. I've already filmed 3, but I just want to get all of this course out the way first. So I've got 4 more videos after this one, and then the fun starts. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. See you on the next one.